All right. We're here.
We made it.
A snowstorm and everything, New Jersey. It's crazy right now, but we're here.
We made it.
January's episode, Nerdthusiast Poker Podcast. We're hardcore, dude. We don't, when we say
no days off.
No days off. When we say we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. Real quick, shout out to our sponsor, BuzzleShopping.com, your one-stop shop for all the great deals online. You can check it out. Make sure that you sign up. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And you also can get some money back by recommending your friends and family as well. So BuzzleShopping.com. Check it out. It's a brand new app. And if you like to sponsor our stream, please contact us directly. But today we got a first time on the stream, and I was kind of excited to get him on here because I've seen his stuff online, and he's like basically involved in everything now. And I'm like, dude, we got to get him on the stream. So we got Tom Wheaton in the house. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? Listen, I used to brave those New Jersey winters for 18 years. Now I live in Florida, just outside of Orlando, so I forget what it was like. But I do remember having to scrape frost off the windshield. Man, I don't miss that one bit.
It's terrible.
I listen, I hate the winters so much now. It just gets worse and worse for me as I get older. And like he knows, we usually go down to Florida every February for like some of the circuit event stuff, and I look forward to it so much to get out of this Jersey weather. I hate it.
I mean, what's funny is like what's changed from when I was a kid, and we're early 40s. They cancel school for literally anything. So we both have younger kids. So like, it impacts our lives so much more than just the snow, because now we have to scramble to find someone, if it's not in-laws or like our parents or whatnot, to watch our kids when we unfortunately don't get snow days because of work.
So I don't know if they do this. I don't know if they do this anymore, but man, there were times if there were too many snow days, they would take the days off spring break.
Oh yes.
It's like, come on.
Yes. Let's go. Yes, absolutely. Listening to like KYW, like waiting for your school code to be called.
Where are you from originally in Jersey?
I'm from Northwest New Jersey, a little town called Mansfield, near Hackettstown, Washington, Warren County, probably 20 minutes away from the Pennsylvania border.
Okay. Yeah. I'm familiar with it. Yes. All right. So we're going to jump into it, man. I was kind of want to get a quick background, like, how'd you get into poker? How'd you get into this world to start with, man? Like, how did this kind of flow?
Yeah, it's a crazy story, man. I mean, look, I was probably like you guys and a lot of other people. I was a product of the moneymaker era.
Yeah.
I played baseball competitively in high school and a little bit of college. And then when that was over, I went to UCF, graduated, looking for a new competitive outlet, and poker became that competitive outlet. And I fell in love with it recreationally for a long time. And I was that guy that invited everybody over for a home game. I was the guy that tried to bring all the 3 or 4 groups in Central Florida together for bigger home games and tournaments, the $20 tournament, the $40, that type of thing. And I loved it. But during that time, man, I was just a corporate guy. I was working for some big corporations, kind of working myself up the corporate ladder. Obviously later in life, found my wife and had a family, and I knew I didn't want to do the corporate grind anymore. And I always had this dream of owning my own business, and I knew I wanted it to be in poker because poker was still a passion. Even in my mid 30s, I'm in my mid 40s now. I would play the underground games in Orlando. I'd play, at the Daytona card room. I'd play competitively. My friends called me a part-time professional. I called myself a part-time rec. And as luck would have it, as fate would have it, I wound up getting let go. My job was eliminated from one of my big corporations that I worked for. I was 37 years old, and I just said, fuck it. I'm starting this company. I had the idea for 3 or 4 years and just went for it. And I had to get another corporate job during that time to provide for the family. But I slowly built Faded Spade, and through a lot of hard work and a lot of failure, it's become what it is today. I couldn't be more thankful. And then when you want, we can get into the above the felt story too, but hopefully that's a decent overview for you guys.
So for the people that are brand new to meeting you or whatnot, what is Faded Spade? Can you tell them what that is? And how did you get into that specifically? Like, that's just something that you don't wake up and like, oh, I'm just going to do this today. Like, how did that happen?
It comes back from my roots, man. I love being the person that had the best cards and the best chips. And that was always important to me, the experience of poker. And when this was probably 2016 or so, there was maybe 15. There were a lot of problems with like cards at some of these huge tournaments, security issues, quality issues. And I'm like, damn, like, why is that happening? I'm like, I'm pretty sure with my background, I could create probably a really great poker playing card that had the best of both worlds, Chem and Kopak at the time, and create a brand for like the modern player, kind of pay homage to the past. And I believe that when you start a business, you want to try and disrupt something that you're passionate about. I believe it should be a need-based product first.
Mm-hmm.
You need cards to play, right? It takes off so many hurdles when you have a need-based product. So I believe that if you could build a great modern brand and get people to fall in love with their story, if you could create a great quality product that is better than the competition, since it's need-based, they'll try you, and hopefully it will result in new business and repeat business. So I built the brand, built the product, told the story, and I was very fortunate that I had a breakfast with the president and CEO of World Poker Tour in 2017, where we talked about this idea. And he told me point blank, look, if you can create RFID cards that help our production, so we don't have to keep stopping productions, and look great on camera and appeal to the younger demographic and the middle demographic, then we'll put them on the felt. So I made that mission number one. We did that, successful, became the official preferred cards of the World Poker Tour. And from there, it just kind of took off. It led to a lot of consumer sales on our website. And then the credibility of that led to a lot of poker room sales. And now we have 40 plus poker rooms in the US and North America. We're expanding into Europe, and just couldn't be happy with the trajectory of the company.
So I'll say two things that I kind of want to bring up. One, that I was actually using your RFID cards, unbeknownst to you, last night on the live stream at the Borgata. I was playing 2-5 there on their live stream, and that's what we used.
Time out. He wasn't playing any cards. This guy played like literally 4 hands in a 5-hour stream. Don't say he didn't play cards.
Here's the thing.
He watched everyone else play.
He knitted up because he got a text or call from his wife about his heater.
I told him that
you filled him in.
I'm going to spend so much money on this heater. I need to knit it up, play, strong hands only. So, but no, that's cool, man. Yeah, it's really cool to hear. And
side note, we have our poker league tonight, so I want to show you this. We actually use your Faded Spade, so we're not just like typing it up. There,
love it.
You're a little off.
I love it. And here's the deal: we just launched FSX, which stands for Faded Spade Excellence, our newest product. The Win just utilized them during the World Championship with awesome feedback. So I'm going to send you guys some of the new FSX. Not only are we the preferred playing cards of the World Poker Tour and the Moneymaker Tour and the Irish Poker Tour and et cetera, we are now the official playing cards of the Hoagie home game.
That's right. Let's go. Let's go. I love it.
Nice.
I listen real quick. You got to throw out some nerdiness there. So Nerdthusiast, for anyone listening for the first time or watching, Nerdthusiast is a brand. We cover everything in the world. Me and Brian just do the poker stuff, but there's other guys that do like video games and movies and stuff, but we kind of all cross paths. So I wanted to throw this out here because I'm a little bit of a movie nerd as well. Yeah. Have you ever watched this movie called Kaleidoscope?
No, but I've heard about it.
Okay, like this is perfectly up your alley. It's an old movie. It's from 1966. I'm just going to throw this out real quick. Warren Beatty, it's one of his first films, but in it, he's a poker player, but he breaks into a card factory and he manipulates the card patterns for his own cheating purposes. And then when he goes to the card games, he knows all the patterns. I was like, so I don't know. It's on my head tonight. I was like, I got to bring it up to you if you haven't seen it.
Now I have to watch it.
It's an old time movie, but it's pretty cool.
Well, it's almost like the movie that just came out. The movie that we reviewed, Deadly Gamble.
No,
not Deadly Gamble. What was it with? Remember the guy was cheating in it. He had like some technology where he could read the cards.
Yeah. But Kaleidoscope's like an old school movie, but you would like it. I mean, especially you're into the card world of obviously making the cards. So seeing the old school ways they used to print them and stuff would probably be pretty cool.
Oh, it's nuts. Yeah, I'd love to see it, man.
All right, so next thing I got to bring up, and so you brought, this started coming on my radar a lot because we've actually interviewed a couple people who are in your team or, in your presence now, Above the Felt. What is this? What's going on with it? What's it all about?
Yeah, so it was how do I say it? It wasn't a pandemic project, but I guess it kind of was a pandemic project. So like I was telling you guys, like my background is all marketing and business development and in the corporate world before I became an entrepreneur. And the pandemic taught me real quick that I better diversify because our Faded Spade sales tanked. And we were fortunate. We pivoted. We pivoted to doing virtual poker for nonprofits. One of my greatest times in my career, actually, because we raised like $5 million for nonprofits through that pivot. And we also made some money that allowed us to stay afloat until the pandemic ended. But I said, you know what? Like, I got to diversify. And why don't I have a marketing and talent agency? It's literally what I've done in the corporate world. I had been working with some acquaintances and friends just totally casually, like Matt Berkey, Jamie Kerstetter, who they would get hit up by different poker rooms or companies to do some promotions. And they were like, what would you do here? What should I charge? What obligations should I have? And I would give them consult and advice. And it's all Jamie's fault, really. She just said to me one day, will you just handle this for me? And I was like, all right. So I did, right? And then like months later, I was like, you know what? Why don't I start a marketing and talent agency for the poker industry, like a sports agency? For this new age group of players, nothing really existed like that for them. And it was important to me that I want to like spread poker's positivity outside of our industry into the mainstream. So I did it, one, because like I thought it could maybe like raise the people that I really care about and think are today's best, raise their like influence outside the industry. But also I saw how much help some of these people needed in the industry to advocate for themselves and negotiate and to get deals done, which are all things that were my strengths. So I was like, well, you know what? I think I'm going to do this. And I called Jamie, I called Berkey, and then there were two other people I had in mind. I had Darren Elias in mind because I just saw something in him more than obviously the world champion that he is. I got to know him a little bit. And then I called Moneymaker because him and I had developed a relationship. And I just felt like if these four people believe in me to do it, and I believe in myself to do it, I'm going to just go for it and see what happens. Lo and behold, they did. We started Above the Felt Marketing and Talent Agency. And now it's just grown and grown. We were able to get big brand ambassadorships within the first few months for Darren, with BetMGM.
Yeah.
That led to consulting for me that I didn't expect. We got a ton of gigs for Berkey and Jamie, some really unexpected stuff for Chris. And, we just slowly grew, right? Like we brought on a vlogger or two. We brought on a streamer or two. We brought on some more champions. And now I look at the roster and I really feel like we represent the best and brightest content creators and world champions in the game. And the goal really is, how can we expand their influence and help them monetize their influence in the industry by partnering with great companies, and also make sure these companies are getting what they're paying for. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a two-way street. And then also, like, at what point are we able to kind of break that ceiling and try and like make the mainstream corporations want to spend some money in poker through either programs that these folks have or them themselves? And that's a tough and a tall task, but we're chipping away at it. So now between the two companies, like, this is my career, man, and awesome. I just absolutely love it. I get to play, nothing crazy, 8 to 10 tournaments a year, cash games every now and then, because I'm a dad first, husband first.
Yeah, we feel that.
Business owner second, but man, it's just been such a dream for it all to come together. And it's just been a lot of hard work, a lot of failure. But anything worthwhile, you're going to fail a lot and have to overcome it.
I think the Above the Felt agency, it's one of those things that, like, now that you're doing it, it's like, it's a no-brainer. Like, why wasn't it done 10 years ago, 20 years ago? Like, it's just something that you see it now and you're like, it makes perfect sense why it now exists. And I see from the marketing stuff that I'm involved in, if you don't know about these deals or getting connections, it's hard to do. So having a middle company to set those things up, because, we know the casinos have money to spend, and the market has shifted from your normal newspaper print ads to now content creation, TikTok streamers, and all these different avenues for these companies. So putting your company in place, that it's just like, I'm not trying to toot you up a little bit.
Thank you.
It's simple genius, really.
Thank you, man. And look, it could have failed.
Yeah.
But we almost set the market for a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
And obviously this was done during the boom era, right? Where you have Helmuth Negrano and their agent, and that agency that did a phenomenal job, that broke the mold and still runs strong today. And I feel like if I can provide any service to the folks on my team who like are acquaintances and friends, not just colleagues, that makes me feel pretty damn good, and it's something that's natural for me to do. I know that they're getting value out of what I'm doing. I know the client is getting value and I'm getting value. And when you have those win-win-win scenarios, then it's something worthwhile. So I hope this is going to be a strong year. I love where our roster is at. I'm hoping for some big deals for a few key people on the roster that deserve it, have earned it, and we'll see what happens.
It's awesome.
It's funny though, you say like how you got into it all and it's your passion and like kind of what drove you to kind of focus on poker. And like Anthony and I, we don't have like the accolades that kind of support what we're trying to accomplish just here with our like small little podcast. Like we do have a small following. We do have like not a market here in the Northeast, but it's like the same thing. Like we love the game so much. Like we might not have the tens of thousands of dollars like on our resume, but we just love the game, love talking about the game, that we're just like, why not create something that brings us
together,
like,
hang out,
happiness, satisfaction, and at the same
poker.
time, like, who knows, people might like what we have to say. And like, that's why we like really love that you agree to come on and bring like what you have to us, because you're helping us while also getting your name and getting your product out there as well.
And plus you're a poker player. You're not just a corporate guy that is brought into this world. Like we've been trying to keep it to people actually in the industry, but they're people that know what they're talking about,
Yeah, absolutely. I love what you guys are doing. Look, it doesn't matter if you have 10,000 subscribers and 10,000 views or 100 or 500 or 1,000. If you love what you're doing and you have an audience that cares about it, that's all that matters. Is it a good use of your time for you? Is it a good use of your time for your followers and viewers? That's great. Look, there is so many people don't do what you're doing because of fear. Right? They let it hold you back. So I would say like keep doing what you're doing. If it's bringing you joy and happiness, if it's bringing the people that view your show joy and happiness, you don't know what it could grow to. You don't know who's going to get interested, but you're doing it for the right reasons. It's the people who are doing these types of content projects that are just doing it for notoriety or just doing it because they want to like, they might not even love what they're doing. Maybe it's inauthentic or whatever that word is, unauthentic, one of those two words. But it's like, if it's disingenuine and they're just doing it for the wrong reasons, you can tell, right?
Yeah.
And you guys, I've watched a couple of your shows and you guys have an authenticity and a passion for what you do. So I would say just keep doing it, man. If it's bringing you joy, keep doing it. Who cares if it's 100,000 or 25,000 or 10,000 or 500? It doesn't matter as long as it's bringing you joy.
The intent wasn't to get to that level. Like
just to put our name out there and have fun.
One of our previous guests, like we had Ashley Frank on, and like she's one of I know, but like hearing her story about how she came into the game and then like why she started vlogging. Like she didn't vlog to get followers. Like you can just tell by how authentic she is. Like that wasn't her goal. It was like, I love doing this and I want to bring what I love doing to other people. And like that's the true nature of like a content creator. Is like they love what they're doing and they don't care about the back end stuff, just as long as it brings them, like you said, brings them joy and then their followers a little bit too.
No, and I totally agree with that, because like obviously I do poker and slots and I really enjoy both of them. But I had been given opportunities to do sports betting stuff and I just don't love it. Like I am just I've been thrown some things to do over the years and like I dabbled a little bit, but I just don't love it. And so I don't want to go down a path that I'm not 100% like into. So I'll stick to the casino games. I'll stick to the poker world. But you're right. If you don't really enjoy it, like, and you're not just creating the content because you have fun with it,
people are going to know.
They're going to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny. Like I've been very blessed to do some executive consulting in the industry the last few years. And I was able to do it with BetMGM Poker when they were breathing life into the brand. I've been able to do it for WPT Global when they had some specific acquisition projects. And I'm so passionate about those things because it has to do with poker, right? And consulting and the things that like I'm good at or try to be good at or can add value. A lot of things I'm bad at, but the things that I'm good at, I really like to like try and do as much as I can. But if someone were to ask me to do those same things for like casino, I don't know that I could, because
Yeah.
I'm teaching my kids, hey, when you walk past this slot machine, you do not play that.
Not this guy. Not this
Not
guy.
this guy. Not this guy. This guy has a method. Or hey, when you're walking back to craps table, you're not playing that unless you're with a group of friends, because when you put the money down, it's going to be gone. There's the house is going to win.
Yep.
And then poker to me is a competitive player versus player game, right? Where all the other games are house games. Now, you have a budget and you've got like a strategy and you've got a passion for some of these other things. Great. Responsibly, go for it. But for me, I don't know that I could, because it's not that same passion, right? So I don't know that I would be authentic to consult on those things. So I hear you guys. And I think one of the messages would be for your viewers is like, if you have passion and something that you really care about, and it's something that's true to you, and you want to get more involved in it as a business or a hobby or an activity, like go for it. It doesn't matter what anybody says, go for it. And if someone asks you to do something that you just don't have a passion for, like, it's okay to say no. It's all right to be like, hey, look, I appreciate it, but my time is going to be spent elsewhere. To me, if I learned anything, like when you bet on yourself and you focus on what brings you joy, and just go for it with all your heart and your mind, then good things can really happen. But you've got to have that passion, and it's got to be part of you. Otherwise, like, people will know.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. Yep. I wanted to jump into a little bit of your poker world. So, I mean, listen.
Do you have the Hendon mob up? Oh, no.
We got always.
The Hendon's always up.
Always. I mean, listen, listen, that's what I'm saying, like, authentic. You have over $200,000 in cashes. You had some decent cashes here and there. And just recently you scored 40,000 in the main event. What was I was there. I did not cash in that event, but how was that? How was that deep run going?
You know what? It's so funny, guys. Like, so many of my peers have millions and millions and millions of winnings. And I look at 200,000 and I'm like, what the hell's that? But then I got to remind myself, like, dude, Tom, when he was 35 and 25, would be freaking thrilled to have $200,000 of poker winnings. Which, a lot of that is profit, to be honest. Like, that, I actually have a really good profit ratio. But my volume is so low that I really, really care when I play, and I really focus and I study. So like when I lose, it hurts.
Yes.
But when I win, or I go deep, or I cash for a decent amount, like, it feels so damn good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So last year I final tabled the Borgata BetMGM Poker 6 Max.
Oh, okay.
Man,
nice.
I was like, let's go, because I love 6 Max. And it was 1,100 tournament. I think it was like 30 grand or 25 grand, something like that. To me, that's like badass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. And then I had some more success, like the WPT Best Bet Jacks, where I final table bubbled. It hurt so bad the way it happened. It's like, God, man, damn. I see some of my peers like Darren and others who just like, that stuff happens. They just go about their business. And me, I'm like living and dying by every card because I don't play as much.
You're in bed for a week. Like, why did they call there?
I'm telling you, it's still that. That's why I say part-time rec, not part-time pro, right?
Absolutely.
But the World Series of Poker, man, what a grind, dude. Yeah. I got extremely lucky on day 2, where I took a really bad beat, and then I got it in for like 30 bigs. My last 25 bigs just crushed ace queen to ace king, and there was a queen on the river. It was like, oh, holy shit, let's go! Like, finally some luck, right? And man, from that point forward, it was just a battle. Like a battle to get to day 5, I think it was, and finish for 40 grand. Day 3 to that final bust out hand, it's just a battle. Like, yeah, I enjoyed it, but holy shit, just mental anguish, man. So, but it's so cool to look back and say, hell yeah. Like, let's go. WSOP deep run. It's so cool to say that, even though that might not be the cool thing to say, it still feels really cool.
Yeah, you said it kind of best before when you said you're a dad first. And on previous, episodes of our podcast, I kind of put that out there with myself. Like, I would love to be able to get out there and play more, but my volume is so low because, again, I have responsibilities at home, and, balancing that between, being a dad, being a husband, and trying to be a good, good family man versus what I want to do,
Yeah.
but I can't do. And it's like same thing. Like when I'm in a tournament and I get a little bit of validation for making that deep run, I'm like, finally, because
Yeah.
you know how it is. You know how volume is. So
Yeah, you get punched in the gut, 10, 15 times. It feels really good to make a deep run, once every now and then. The other thing is too, as like a part-time player, I don't know about you guys, but no matter how much I love poker, maybe you love poker, what these tournament pros do, it takes a very special breed. Because I don't know about you guys, but if I'll go to Vegas in the summer or in December, after like 3 or 4 tournaments, I'm like, all right, I need to get out of here, right?
I'm ready to go home.
Like, I don't know that I could be a full-time professional, man. Like, it's like, even if you're cashing and running deep, it's still like, damn, all right, I've got to get out of here, right? Especially if you're just getting just destroyed, right? So these tournament professionals who are the best in the world and do this as a full-time job, I have so much respect for them because it's a grind. It's hard. And you've got to have so much mental toughness, physical
100%.
toughness to do it. So, I think like where we're at, guys, is probably the right balance, for us.
Yeah. Well, I still enjoy it too. That's the thing. Like the balance makes me feel like I enjoy it and appreciate it more. So I don't fall into that just like, oh, it's my day job kind of grind. Like I still enjoy it. Like I still play a couple times a month. I play a little more than Brian does, but I mean, I just enjoy it because I appreciate that time I get to play.
And you got to know when you're not enjoying it and are enjoying it, right? So like, it was weird because I had the World Series of Poker deep run, then I final tabled a Moneymaker Tour event, and you'd think I'd want to keep playing poker. Well, like from like September to December, I was like, man, I just don't want to play. I'm not feeling it. But man, I'm going to Borgata next week, and I want to play so bad. I can't wait to freaking play. So it's like you gotta know yourself too. And when you want to play, go for it. But if you don't force yourself to do it.
Yeah, 100%. So that was gonna be my next question to kind of wrap it up. What's coming up for you in 2025? Across the board. If you can kind of give us some highlights of what your plans are, maybe Faded Spade, Above the Felt, and poker for yourself. A little tidbit about each, maybe.
Yeah. First and foremost, I have a middle school daughter and almost middle school son, so it's really dialed into them because it's a lot different than when they were 2 and 4. It's a different level of parenting. It moves from being physically exhausting to like mental exhaustion, but also really fun, very, very fun at the same time. So I'm really focused on that. Faded Spade is very simple. We're going to continue growing in North America. I am expanding our presence in Europe, both from an e-commerce perspective and from a B2B perspective. So I'm super excited about that. We just launched a couple new partnerships with the Irish Poker Tour, Vamos Poker Tour. We've got a really big one coming up. Poker rooms are starting to take notice. I love it. That's our expansion. Above the Felt, I'm going to keep the roster most likely where it's at. I really want to focus on maximizing my time for the current roster and trying to find deals for them proactively, or if they're presented with opportunities, reactively helping them do as well as they could and provide the best service to their clients. And then poker, I haven't planned it out that much, man. Like I know I'm going to play when I travel in Europe, right? But I've got Borgata coming up. It looks like a phenomenal BetMGM championship. I can't wait to play that. I'm sure I'll play the main event again. I'm sure I'll play the World Championship again. I'm sure I'll play 2 or 3 or 4 Moneymaker Tour events, and we'll see kind of what we mix in. I'm sure I'll play some more BetMGM poker events. That's what kind of like the year looks like for me.
Nice. Well, we gotta ask our famous question. Brian can ask this.
I was actually going to go in a different direction.
Oh, okay.
So Anthony and like our current claim to fame is we actually went on a game show that was on a CBS network, and we actually won together as a partner. So, are you familiar with like Squid Game?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, great. So the most recent season, I don't want any spoilers out there. It's more kind of geared towards like a team mentality. Like if you notice, like a lot of the people in the actual games kind of know each other. If you could bring 3 people with you from your Above the Felt team to Squid Game, knowing what the outcomes could be in the long run, who could you trust and who do you think would make it through the end, towards the end with you?
Okay, so do you want me to pick like the 3 people that I'd have by my side?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So while I could pick anybody on the team, this is not playing favorites. I'm going to go back to the core group I first brought in, right? Because they've been with me from the beginning. So I'll definitely take Darren Elias, because him and I have a really great kinship, really great friendship outside of just above the felt. So he balances me out. I balance him out. I think we'd make a great team. I'm going to bring Jamie Kerstetter because it's her fault I got involved in all this. And she's mentally, physically strong. She's gifted. She's smart. She's funny. So I bring her along. And then here's what I would do. I would have Moneymaker and Berkey battle it out against each other in some form or fashion. Play heads up.
In the room with the merry-go-round.
Squid Game to the death.
And whichever one of those guys won is who I would take as my third person. But I'll start with the core 4 that started above the felt with me. And really, because of the success with them, it wouldn't have grown to where it is today. So I'm thankful for them.
Nice.
So, Tom, can you just throw out some websites and where the people can follow you at real quick?
Yeah, of course. Like, I need to be more active on social lately, but you can follow me at Tom Wheaton _ on Twitter. My Instagram is private, friends and family. I'm not getting too public on that. So Twitter's the best way to find me. Website for Faded Spade, fadedspade.com. abovethefelt.com for Above the Felt. And, hit me up. I'm open to conversations. I'm open to whatever. If you're a entrepreneur that's trying to find their way, message me. If you're looking for how to get into the poker world, message me. I'm happy to give any advice I can. But that's where you can look me up. That's where you can find me. And always happy to talk to aspiring entrepreneurs. We'll leave aspiring poker players to somebody else with really great results and who's very good. But yeah, hit me up anytime.
And don't forget the official Hoagie home game sponsor.
yes. You got to add that to like your webpage.
The official Hoagie home game.
Yes, it's got to be like on the Faded Spades like homepage. The official cards of the Hoagie home game.
And you got to be careful because he was such a nit on the BetMGM stream. He is going to be loose tonight. He's going to just give it away.
Boom.
Yeah, you got to go back and watch it because one guy trolled him. He like 3-bet someone, and the guy was like, "Whoa!"
Listen to Buck, Ace King. I'm out.
It wasn't Ace King. I was crying. It was incredible. Really? Yes.
Well, thank you, Tom, for coming on.
Thank you so much. Yes,
appreciate
absolutely.
it. And thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next one.
You bet, guys. Best of luck, guys.
Thank you very much.